It's something we've all heard of a number of times, but few among us rarely acknowledge. Inequality is increasing around the world, but it's mostly coming at the cost of women and girls. That's the message in a report on inequality from the charity Oxfam. The report highlights, for instance, the amount of unpaid work women and girls do around the world. 12.5 billion hours spent each day cooking, cleaning, and looking after children and the elderly. More specifically, in the case of India, earlier Oxfam research has shown that unpaid work by women looking after their homes and children is worth some 3.1% of India's GDP. While many women in India are unable to join the paid workforce, even for those that do, cultural factors remain a daily challenge.
It doesn't pay much. But this is how Ekta helps to support her 4 siblings and her mother. Like many 21-year-olds, she has bigger plans. Ekta has already finished a course in sewing technology. And she's been attending training sessions with this youth and employability service to help her get a better paid job.
I am determined to work. I've had a very difficult life. I've had problems with my family and other problems too. But I've never accepted defeat. I want to help my siblings build their careers. If I get a good job, my mother doesn't need to work as a maid in other people's homes anymore. I know I will succeed.
Many more women across India are pursuing further education. But less than a quarter of those eligible to work have jobs or are even seeking employment. Concerns about safety in transport are some of the reasons why families, as well as employers, don't want women working. Hiring men is easier. For one thing, bosses don't have to worry about them getting home before it's dark. That's been a problem Pinky Kumari has faced. She travels nearly 2 hours from her village just to get to work. And sometimes she has to leave early in order to get home while it's still light. But she's already broken a taboo by becoming the first woman in her family to have an office job, even if she had to fight to get it.
I've struggled a lot. I wasn't allowed to work. I had problems with the family. But I feel very good about my first job. I'm learning a lot. I'm enjoying it.
Many women like Pinky also struggle to work.
When a woman tries to work, the family stops her. They don't let her progress. They think, she'll go out, she could do anything. Don't let her out, she'll dishonor us. They don't trust her.
We worry about their safety when they go places. Will they return safely? Will someone harass them on the way? Will they be in danger? We have to worry about all these things.
So many barriers for women, including Ekta. But still, they persevere.
But it's not an easy task given the levels of inequality they face. It's also a theme that is set to be discussed by world leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos that gets underway on Tuesday. DW correspondent Janelle Dumalaon caught up with Oxfam India CEO Amitabh Behar for his views on the inequality women in India have to face.
Mr. Behar, you've said that inequality in India is frightening. Why?
Inequality in India is absolutely obscene. Look at the data. It says 63 billionaires actually have more wealth than the annual budget of the government of India. And this is for a country where we have still more than 30% of the people living in extreme poverty. And it's frightening because what you're seeing is crony capitalism. You're seeing the economic system getting tilted in favor of the rich. This is where the rent-thick sectors are making huge profits at the expense of poor and ordinary citizens.
Now, we've also read this other disturbing statistic that says 9 people have more wealth than half of the population of India, so about 650 million people. How did that situation develop?
Isn't that a result of a rigged system? A system which favors the super rich, it favors the billionaires who concentrate more and more wealth in their hands, and the poor continue to be poor and in fact become poorer because the commons the land, water, forest goes out of their hands and it gets concentrated again in the hands of the super rich. So this is obscene inequality, and this cannot continue in a country like India.
Based on everything that's happening so far, would you say that the Indian government is making gender equality a priority?
No, let me talk about the inequality from a gendered lens. This economic system is also rigged in favor of men. It's a patriarchal economic system. Let me tell you a story of a person called Buchu Devi. She lives in the state of Bihar. She wakes up at 3 a.m., goes 3 kilometers away from her house to get water for her household, comes back, goes and collects fodder for the household, does cleaning, washing, taking care of the children, then goes and works at a construction site where she's underpaid. She comes back and again takes care of the entire family. She works 17 hours a day. And contrast this with the billionaires that we have talked of, or the super rich lifestyle that we see with their private jets, super yachts. That's the level of inequality, and the government has taken actually no steps in trying to address this gender inequality.